Let's talk about someone on the other end of the age spectrum. You like that transition there?
Well done.
That's pretty good. Andre Iguodala, now on the Grizzlies, and despite rumors of a buyout agreement coming eventually, Iguodala hasn't ruled anything out. Here is what he told NBC Sports Bay Area about a potential buyout. Quote, "At this point, the only buyout that makes sense, if I'm speaking on, someone else's behalf, thinking as an agent, is you don't leave money on the table, especially in this league, because you'll never get it back no matter what people say. Negotiations are a tactic, so you've got to be careful about how you approach it or how you verbalize what you would do going forward. But you can't leave anything on the table." Jackie, Andre Iguodala manufactured such a sweetheart deal from the Warriors in his previous contract by playing Sacramento and Phoenix off of each other, if I remember correctly, and Houston.
Yep.
So you are talking to a master negotiator.
Yes, we are.
Do you think that he's going to start the season with the Grizzlies?
So translation, yes, you can buy me out, but you better pay me all the money, which isn't a buyout. So I think I think he may start with the Grizzlies. I do think at some point during the year, it's entirely possible if we get to the trade deadline or we get closer to the playoffs, that he changes teams. But I don't blame him. You could make the argument that he's been a little underpaid for the value he's had. We're talking about a finals MVP.
So this is the difficulty. Because he makes $17 million, it's going to be very difficult to trade for him because of the trade rules. I mean, I wouldn't say impossible, but the Rockets were apparently trying to gin up some sort of weird deal with Iman Shumpert.
Until this week's Board of Governors meetings.
No. Right. Because they
where they came in and said, we're not going to allow that stuff anymore.
But there are ways to take a buyout without leaving money on the table. For example, if he took $2.6 million less, which is what a veteran minimum would be, that's not leaving money on the table. Or if he went to his new team and got a 2-year guarantee on the veterans minimum, which you can get, which would take you like $5.2 million.
Right.
And you could take $5.2 million less and technically not leave any money. Plus, there's a big difference between earning money in Tennessee, where there's a much more favorable income tax as opposed to California. So, while this is a good negotiating position for him to have, I do think there is wiggle room in there where he cannot leave money on the table. Eventually, he will be off of the Grizzlies. But I can understand why both sides are kind of dug in right now, and we've got plenty of time to figure that out.
I would just say that Andre Iguodala is the savvy veteran, if there ever was one. He's seen some things. So I would trust his strategy here. And apparently, if any other player would like an agent, he is ready to step into that role, according to that quote. All right, the Raptors facing a decision on locking in their best young asset very soon. They'd need to agree with Pascal Siakam on a rookie scale extension by October 21st. That's less than a month from now. Hoops Hype talking to anonymous executives around the league who were split on whether Siakam should get the max. Of course, we all think if they don't offer him the max, he's not signing it. Why would he? Would you offer them the max? Max?
Yeah. Would I offer it to him if I were the Raptors today? Probably not. But on October 20th, I might. This is not a guaranteed max. This is not a simple negotiation. There may be ways where you can say, all right, we're going to give you the max, but we're going to protect ourselves in the back end with assets, with the parts of the contract. But a big factor here, I think, that you have to think about. Next summer's free agent class is very shallow. Assuming he doesn't get hurt and he has what I would think is going to be another great season, he is going to get a max offer. And at that time, you will not be able to control what the player option is, what the trade kicker is.
Poison pills, all the stuff that we've seen guys put into contracts.
This is not a no-brainer for the Raptors, so there's going to be negotiation, and I don't think they're anywhere close today. But let's see where they are on October 20th.
But they have to do it. Everything you said is true.
Probably.
But they have to do it.
And maybe they give it to him, Jackie, and he's just a hair below the max.
Why? Why do that? See, that's what I don't understand. And even with waiting, if you're going to do it anyway, right? Why are we playing a 3.5-week game of chicken? And we have seen player after player in this league, if they don't get that rookie extension they think they deserve, no matter what everyone says in the moment, it causes bad blood. It caused bad blood between Kristaps Porzingis and the Knicks. Now, obviously, there was some other stuff going on, but that was a factor. We saw Gordon Hayward and Utah, right? When that situation, and he didn't get extended then, it caused bad blood and came back to bite him, Utah later on. We see it over and over again. I do think with it being such a shallow free agent class, tying up the money isn't really a factor.
And you're tying up a player that we haven't even seen. We've barely scratched the surface of this kid. I was in Bafia, Cameroon, at the seminary where he was studying to be a priest. I saw the bent rim that he was shooting baskets in. That was 3 years before he ended up going to America and becoming an NBA player. We have no idea There's no ceiling with this. Look at the numbers, how much they jumped from one year to the next.
I just don't see what the downside is.
He couldn't shoot a three-pointer 2 years ago. Now, next year, I think he's going to shoot close to 40% from
Rachel,
three.
your point is valid. I have nothing against it. But I'm just saying to you that, like, if you're a general manager, you think of, like, well, when Klay Thompson did his rookie extension, they got him to take less than the max and ended up helping them get Kevin Durant years later. So if there's a battle to be fought, some teams tend to fight the battle.
I don't know. I would just be careful. And especially, look, I think Toronto is a fabulous free agent destination, but you've heard them themselves say
that's not true.
that they've had trouble getting players there. I think you lock up the guys that you have, you keep them there, and you keep them happy. And why dance around this for 3 weeks?
And you don't think other players aren't watching? Oh, man, they wouldn't even give him the max?
The other thing is that the extensions that have been given out this summer, and I'll just look at the Karis LeVert extension, have been players more locking in as opposed to getting the most money possible. Mm-hmm. So the trend in the league right now is for teams to drive a bit of a hard bargain. They've been getting those deals done. So I don't know, maybe the Raptors are trying to play that game.
He's going to be an all-star this year. You can't mess with it.